guys, my name is Lukey. I'm the KTM Insure My Ride factory stunt rider here in Australia, and today we're in my garage. So I got my first motorbike when I was 3. It was a PW50. My dad got it for me for my birthday. Loved it. Actually, one of the first times I rode it, you could hear my parents and they say, "Stay low, stay low, stay low." And I didn't. I mean, I was 3 and I couldn't hear them. I went over all these bumps and it threw me over the bars. I was tiny. These bumps were the size of me. And the first time I rode a bike, first time I've been over the bars. I don't know, I just made a career out of it after that. I used to come home from school and ride my PW50 and then I had PW80 and a YZ80. And so I just sort of moved up, and when I was 17 and 9 months, I got my road license and I just rode non-stop and clutching wheelies on a CBR 250, just wringing the thing's neck and popping the clutch. So what's in my garage? Well, aside from immaculate workbenches and epoxy-coated floors, I'm pretty proud of this because I've just set it up and it's been my dream garage.
I grew up with 88 CBR 1000 on the back of my stepdad, Tony. Like, he used to take me, I was a little kid, just growing up riding the back of that, and he's always wanted an 89 CBR 1000. So a couple of years ago, I bought one and fully restored it, and now we have both. And I mean, he calls them our bikes. I mean, really, I'm honoured it's our bikes. So like, I love bikes, you know. I love so many different types of bikes. I got my T100, you know, I got all my stunt bikes, I got my old R1, you know.
My pride and joy, my R1, which is in the middle of getting some work done to it itself. I haven't started or ridden it, basically haven't even moved it for 8 years. This bike, it's very special to me. This bike is my first, well, it was my first 1000cc bike. It was my first stunt bike. It was basically the bike that shaped my entire life. My cousin passed away when I was very young. He was on an R6 and I was riding this bike when it happened. I have his front wheel in it. I've always appreciated that bike. It's been very special to me. To actually pull it apart and start playing with it is bringing back a lot of, you know, really nice memories. So it's nice to know that whatever I spend on it, it's going to stay on it. It's never going to get sold. The bike will be with me till the day I die. A lot of you, I guess, don't know, I used to race 250 production bikes. I raced in '03. I did quite well and then had a pretty good accident. I broke my back. So that put me out for a little bit, and then when I started getting better and that was sort of when the incident with my older cousin happened and he passed away, and I got a bit reckless and I never really got back into racing. I sort of, you know, ended up getting into stunt riding. So, you know, it's been 11 years and I'm going to take my 1290 racing. Hopefully competing in the last round of the Australian FX Championship. Until then, I'll be practicing my butt off and hopefully not making a fool out of myself. So you may have noticed I have a time machine in my garage. One massive part of my job is skids. It's actually probably my favourite part of my job, particularly on this bad boy, but it does chew tyres. It takes me about 3 minutes to go through a rear tyre. Then I have a time machine there to fit up spare rims, you know, change tyres before every event, get everything ready. I've got a tyre rack there ready to go, which should get me through my next 3 events. The best part of my job really is making skids for appreciative people. I perform at events everywhere, and I mean, you look at an event like MotoGP, that's a perfect example. I go out on track, I hit my bike on rev limiter, and everybody runs to the fence. It's crazy. They see me come out on track and they're just drawn to it. I mean, I remember being a kid watching stuff like this and I was drawn to it. Putting smiles on people's faces like that is the best part of my job, hands down. Better than skids, but skids make that, so, you know, it's all related. Without my sponsors, I couldn't do what I do. It's just that simple. To represent brands like this and to have brands back me like this, well, it's overwhelming to some degree. You know, when I sit back and think about where I was to where I am, you know, it all started on the R1, just little R1 I couldn't afford to fix when I crashed it. And now here I am with, you know, with all this and performing all over the country. I can't picture doing anything else but this. So that's me, my life, my job, a little insight into what happens behind the scenes. I hope they cut to some footage now of me making a skid or something, you know, and put a smile on your face.